How's it, folks? The Winter Tales Gifts from Above 2024 event has just gone live, and it will last until the 2nd of January 2025. Along with it, they also introduced patch 1.2, and I'll go into a bit more detail about their patch later on in the video. But for those of you who played the Winter Tales event from 2023, last year's Christmas event, it is very similar, with only the rewards being slightly different. I'm not really against that because I really enjoyed last year's winter event, so I'm glad to see it make a return. For those of you who aren't aware of how this event works, basically everything is snowing and you get Christmas themed infected that you need to take out to loot different baubles or fairy lights or candy off of them, and then you use those to trade with Baka for different things. For instance, you'll need the baubles and fairy lights to get the decorations to put up on the tree just outside of the main entrance to the bazaar. I think you need to buy some decorations from Baka using the baubles and fairy lights, and then put up maybe 3 of them, including at least 1 star topper, which you can get by killing the snow. And then you'll need a ultimate adornment pack, which you can only buy when you get to level 10 with Baka, and that will require you to have 20 star toppers. The most reliable way to get a star topper is to beat snow in the airdrop event. But the most efficient way of leveling up with Baka is to complete bounties. And by far the best way to do that is to get the bounties that ask you to kill certain amount of Christmas theme infected, or get certain amount of candy, or freeze volatiles or whatnot. And then I would recommend you go out of the exit from the bazaar, just opposite of where Baka is, run through that little short tunnel into that little playground area, and there should be a howler spawn in there. And don't kill that howler, just keep farming the little virals and small little tokoloshis, my South African bled through there. The small little mini infected Christmas themed guys that squeak a lot. It would take you a couple of minutes to quite easily rank up like 5-6 levels with Baka, because as you're like right there, you just need to keep killing off the virals, looting all what they have on you, and then when you complete a bounty, you can just make it jog right back to Baka, pick up more bounties, and you'll level up pretty quickly. You should also get a fair amount of candy through this, and quite a bit of the different decorations. There are other bounties from Baka that ask you to collect something else, which are called the Festive Feasts, that you can get in specific dark hollows, the ones with the restaurant type things. I think they're called nates. And you can also find them in fridges and whatnot in other dark hollows. But basically, you have to go looking for them. They're not something you'll just pick up by looting the infected. And then on top of that, you can get quite a lot of different boons or buffs from all these different Christmas themed infected, and you can also stack these buffs on top of each other. So if you get the same buff, it adds on top of the previous one to make it more powerful. So it's worth trying to hunt specific buffs to make things easier. One of the most common ways of getting buffs is to hunt down the new Spitter type, which basically chucks frozen snowballs at you. That basically you can think of them as grenades that explode and deal frozen ice damage instead of chemical damage. And you can buy those snowballs at Baka for a bunch of candy as well. And speaking of buying things from Baka, there is a new Killer Krampus bundle set that's going to be introduced during this winter event, but not all of the items from the set will be in Baka's store at the moment. They're going to rotate the store each week. This week at the start, I think it's the boots, the arm guards, and the leg piece. And then you'll probably get the different armor pieces next week. But they also have a new grappling hook skin and a new paraglider skin and a very nice new polearm, which is one of my new favorite weapons of this game, just because of its looks. And polearms are my favorite weapon type in Download 2 at the moment. It looks pretty badass, glows a bit in the dark. But also more importantly, when you modify the weapon, the mods don't actually show up on the weapon except for the charm accessory, which I think is a massive plus, as I'm not really a fan of the over-the-top mods that you install on most of the weapons. So it's nice to run around with this weapon. And when I fully upgraded the blueprint and crafted it, right out of the gate, it immediately became my strongest polearm as well. So That is a big plus. And then if you install a frost mod on it, it already comes with the Inferno mod, so you can do both frost and fire damage to do the bigger Bucker bounties when you have to get certain kills. Well, you have to freeze, I think, 90 zombies and then kill 120 zombies with fire. So that will be a pretty straightforward way of just using one weapon to knock out both of those bounties. And if I haven't mentioned previously, Bucky is back at his normal festive shack right outside of the bazaar. And each time you level up with him, each time you get a new rank, you'll get a letter. You use that letter on the little board right next to him, and that will send in Santa Claus to fly over with a Christmas-themed airplane and drop a big present. You'll need to make a dash towards where that is. It normally has a sort of Christmas tree firework display over and above it, and you can also see where the airplane is flying over you to get its direction if you have your HUD turned off. And then when you make it to that airdrop, you'll have to defeat Uncle Snow, which is a demolisher that is Christmas themed and a bunch of Christmas themed infected around the area. If you take a maxed out toughness booster, the fight is pretty easy and I doubt you'll have any issues with it. But most importantly, there is 2 bits of loot when you kill all those zombies and loot them. There's the crate and then a box of presents next to it. Make sure you loot both of them. And then when you open up the crate, you should get a skull, which is that axe that you can throw in that would return into your hand, which is quite fun to use as a bit of a gimmick weapon. And then also a specific present that is unique to the airdrops, which so far seems to guarantee a star drop. I wouldn't recommend opening that present up until you get the bounties asking you for star drops, so you can open up one and knock out the bounty straight away to level up faster, to rank up quicker, to get more letters, to get more airdrops. So basically just keep checking when the specific bounty asking for the star drop rolls around, and then you can open up that present. You also normally get quite a decent chunk of few hundred candies in that, so maybe open it up if you want to buy something specific from Bucker's store. And you will very likely need to do 20 airdrops or rank up Bucker 20 times to get the 20 star drops to get the final Christmas tree decoration. And once you've got that, there's going to be a whole bunch of different presents around the tree that you can pick up. And last year they also had a whole bunch of those frost grenades showing up on the tree when you put up the ultimate adornment that you can use to free zombies. I haven't gotten there yet because I still need to rank up a couple more times with Bucker, and I haven't bought the Killer Krampus outfit yet because I need quite a lot more candy. It's 4,000 pieces per item, so I need to grind a bit more for that, but I thought I'd focus on getting this video out before that. And then of course there's more pieces in the set, so I'll make another video once all the pieces are available to show you what the full set would look like. But the weapon and 3 pieces of armor are already in Bucker's store for this first week. And then I did mention this in the video yesterday, but if you didn't see that, the Above the Law bundle will now be free in the Download store right up until the end of the event on January the 2nd, which normally costs 500 download points. And unfortunately, there are also 2 more FOMO sets in the Download store, a weapon charm sort of snow plow weapon bundle set, and then the mischievous Elf Helper set, which was the Christmas outfit from last year's Christmas event, are also in the Download store at the moment. There are also a couple of other random items in Bucker's store, like a new toy gun and a new charm. I'll probably show those off when I do the full Krampus outfit set near the end of the event as well, so it all goes in one video. And now let's move on to the patch changes. There aren't any really major changes. It's pretty small patch, all things considered. So starting off with co-op, they fixed the occasional issue with other players falling through the elevator floor in the VNC tower when playing in co-op. That definitely happened to me quite a few times, so I'm glad that's fixed now. Moving on to gameplay, fix the issue where sometimes killing a bolter during nighttime encounters rewarded no experience. Fix the issue where slow motion doesn't work for parkour shot during far jump. Fix the occasional issue with a headless Aiden being visible if the player looks down during a head stomp. The Agony Claws knuckle dusters no longer clip into the character's leg when crouching. And fix the issue with power shot not working during a slide. And then moving on to technical, fix the crash sometimes happening on Xbox Series X when accessing additional DLC content that's installed whilst the title is suspended. Fix the issue with the final cutscene not playing during the Satellite Dream quest. Fix the issue where sound effects are sometimes not played when the player is crawling through metal air vents. Fix the issue when after turning the monitor off and on several times, the screen goes black and doesn't even display the Microsoft dashboard on Xbox Series X. And fix the issue with lightning disappearing for a moment when shifting the camera. And then moving on to the UI. Fix the issue with Hakon's crossbow being the wrong rarity in contrast to the shop bundle. Fix the issue with objectives not being marked at night during the Kane quest. And then they also made a couple of changes to the prologue to make it easier to get going in the beginning of the game, where they've added some new tutorials, adjusted different wordings of them, rebalanced some early weapons, and reworked the introduction of some early game features. And that should just about cover everything of note for this Winter Tales event. Of course, I will have a couple more videos coming out, but this should deal with most of the stuff. I hope you all have a fantastic time and enjoy this event. Take care and cheers for now.